Today we will want to subtract fractions with unlike denominators. The steps are to find the LCD, convert the fractions, and subtract. For example, let's have 9/10. Subtract from it 4/25. We need to find a common denominator. Common denominator, I believe, is going to be 50. The least common denominator. Converting tenths into 50ths, we need to multiply by a 5 factor, 5/5, which represents 1. So the numerator becomes 45. The denominator, of course, is 50. To converting 4/25 into 50ths, we need to multiply by a factor of 2, 2/2. The numerator becomes 8. Since we have the same denominator, we're going to keep the denominator and subtract the numerators. 8 from 45, which would be 37. Okay. Next step, next problem, we want to subtract mixed numbers. For example, we could have the whole number 8 minus the mixed number 3 2/3. I like to do mixed numbers not horizontally, but vertically. I feel it's easier. So you can put the 8 up top, put the 3 2/3 below. We want to subtract. And we're going to subtract fractions first from each other, then the whole numbers. We can't take 2/3 from blank. So we borrow 1 from the 8, which makes that a 7. Where we borrow the 1 becomes 3/3. And now we're able to subtract 2/3 from 3/3, coming up with 1/3. Subtracting 3 from 7, we have the answer 4 1/3 as a mixed number. If the computer says it requires a simple fraction, that's not acceptable. We would then convert the mixed number by taking 3 times the whole number, add the numerator, all divided by 3. That gives me 12 plus 1, which is 13/3. So here's the answer as an improper or simplified fraction. Another problem. Let's say we want to take from 9 1/8, 4 5/8. And we want to do this in a vertical format. So we're going to have 9 1/8 up top. Underneath it, we're going to have 4 5/8. And we want to subtract. The steps are line up the mixed numbers vertically, which I just did. We're going to find the LCD. We're going to convert fractions to new fractions with the LCD as the denominator. We're going to borrow if necessary, if we need to, when we're subtracting. We're going to subtract the fractions. We're going to subtract the whole numbers. And if the problem requires, we're going to convert to an improper fraction. So my first step is to, since I can't take 5 from 1, I'm going to borrow from the 9, making that an 8. The 1 that I borrowed can be expressed as 8/8. So 1/8 and 8/8 is 9/8. I'm now able to subtract the fractions. 5/8 from 9/8 would be 4/8. 4/8, of course, reduces to 1/2. And then subtracting the whole numbers, we have 4 from 8, which would be 4. So the answer as a mixed number is 4 1/2. That's the answer as a mixed number. If we need to express it as a fraction, simplified fraction, we would say 2 times 4, add 1, all divided by 2. So as a simplified fraction, it's going to be 8 plus 1, or 9/2. One last problem. Let's assume we have 9 3/10. Subtract from it 6 5/8. Again, I said we like to do mixed numbers subtraction vertically. So 9 3/10, 6 5/8 underneath it, and we're subtracting. The first step is to find the LCD between 10 and 8, and the LCD between 10 and 8 is 40. We then want to convert the fractions to equivalent new fractions with the denominator 40. So 10 goes into 40 4 times. We need to multiply top and bottom by 4. So the numerator now becomes 12 over 40. Changing 5/8 into 40ths, we need to multiply by 5. Multiplying top and bottom by 5, the numerator becomes 25 over 40. The next step is to subtract fractions. We can't take 25 40ths away from 12 40ths. So we're borrowing 1 from the 9. The 9 becomes an 8. The 1 that we borrowed is going to become 40 over 40. We then would like to add these two fractions. 12 40ths and 40 40ths is 52 40ths. Now we're able to subtract 25 40ths from 52 40ths, which gives us 27 40ths. And we finally subtract the whole number. 6 from 8 is 2. So the answer as a mixed number is 2 27 40ths. If we need to convert to a simple fraction, we're going to take the denominator 40, multiply it by the whole number 2, add 27, divide it all by 40. That's going to be 2 times 40 is 80, plus 27 is 107 over 40. Here is the same answer, but as a simple fraction. It's most important that we pay attention to how the computer would like the answer expressed. Otherwise, we're going to get the problem marked wrong.